Hey guys, LevelCap here, and today is Monday, which means it's time for an episode of Loadout, the series where you guys, the viewers, get to help me pick and choose a custom kit configuration. The way you do this is you leave a comment in the comment section of this video letting me know what kind of gun and accessories you'd like me to run with, and I will pick one of the top rated comments for the next episode of Loadout. Now, honestly, I don't know why I picked this top comment. There was just something about it that was so not my playstyle in any way whatsoever that I thought I'd give it a try. And today's top comment comes from Timmer Danmark, who says the JNG-90 no scope, laser sight, straight pull bolt, sidearm 44 tugs fit the bill for the specialization. Now, I will admit that at first I was kind of at a loss at where to use this kind of setup. I tried it in Team Deathmatch and that was an absolute disaster. I mean, I'd usually get one body shot in close range with this thing hip firing and then just get dropped by somebody with an AEK. So in my frustration of not really being able to make this kit work too effectively in Team Deathmatch, I decided to try out some infantry heavy rush maps, and I was just playing Bazaar, then I'm going to play some Sane, and eventually I'll get around to Metro. Now if you think about it, Rush really is one of the better maps to play Recon on because Rush funnels everybody into tight areas, and that's where it's easy to line up sniper shots and get a lot of kills. I mean, same goes for just about any weapon, but with Recon you really don't want guys sneaking up on your backside or whatever, because whipping around and getting those last minute kills is very hard to do with this class. Now this specific loadout, as far as I can tell, is a montage loadout. That means it's hard to get kills with, but it looks really cool when you do get kills with it. Now I should really start off with talking about the Magnum, because honestly I was getting more of my kills with the Magnum than I was the JNG-90 with the laser sight. Because the Magnum can actually shoot at a much more reasonable rate of fire, where the JNG-90 has quite a long delay between each shots. It's a bolt action sniper rifle, so if you miss your first shot in any sort of medium to close quarter situation, you're either screwed or you better switch to your pistol extremely fast. Now I've talked about the Magnum recently, but that thing is just an absolute powerhouse, doing 60 damage maximum per shot. It has a pretty good damage over range rate too, so you can drop people in 2 shots maximum and 1 shot minimum at most distances. So it actually is a pretty good gun to run primary with. Now of course in all these long range situations I switched to the JNG, but I gotta say not having any sort of sight on this is just absolutely a pain in the butt to work with, because one, it makes getting headshots at long range extremely hard to do, and two, you've got a laser sight on here, which is like, hey everybody, at long range, this is where I am, especially on maps like Metro here. I'm really just alerting everybody to my presence. So I don't have a scope, so I don't have that scope glare, but I'm making up for it with the laser sight. Now the laser is supposed to make this thing much more accurate for hip firing, and I do get a few hip fire shots in here and there, which is kind of fun to do, but the practical application of hip firing a bolt action sniper rifle, again, is really just for montages. It's such an unreliable way to use this gun that I try and avoid it at all costs. Now, I'll be honest, I find this loadout really confusing, because if you're going to hip fire a gun, and that's clearly what they're trying to do here with the laser sight on this gun, you don't run a laser on a bolt action sniper rifle unless you're really going to try and use a lot of hip firing action with it. But if you're going to try and hip fire a bolt action sniper rifle, you should be using the SV-98, because that has the most accurate hip fire accuracy of any of the bolt action sniper rifles, and it's just going to yield the most results. In addition to having the most accurate hipfire, the SV-98 also has the longest damage drop-off for the near damage drop-off. So basically it doesn't start dropping off in damage till 20 meters, where all the other bolt actions start to drop off at 15 meters. So if you're looking for something to hipfire or be really good in close quarters, the SV-98 is just hands down one of the best bolt actions to use. But that's not what I'm using today. I'm using the JNG-90. I got stuck with the JNG-90, which isn't an entirely bad gun. In fact, it's got a lot of really good things going for it. The setup just really isn't designed to take advantage of those things. One thing that the JNG-90 does incredibly well, in fact it's the second best bolt action sniper rifle in this regards, is that its bullet velocity is extremely fast at 560 meters per second. The only other bolt action sniper rifle that tops that is the M98B, which is kind of an entirely different beast anyway. Has a different damage model, different magazine size, all that stuff. So the JNG-90 is actually extremely good at hitting long-range targets or moving targets. Now, because I'm kind of being forced to use the iron sights here, I have to say they're not entirely bad. They just don't have the kind of accuracy that you need with a bolt action, because let's face it, if you're going to be competitive with a bolt action sniper rifle in a server filled with pretty decent players, you're going to need to throw a scope on there, and you're going to need to pull off headshots. None of this body shot business. That's just not going to be enough to drop a skilled player. If a skilled player takes a body shot and he's within line of sight of you, he's going to have killed you before you get that second shot off. Now, all that being said, it is a bit fun to run with iron sights on your bolt action sniper rifle. It just makes it feel a bit more raw, and when you pull off a headshot in medium range, it's also very cool to do. And it's also very rewarding when you do get a headshot at long range. It's just a little bit more based on chance than actual accuracy. You sort of line up the dot of the enemy and you take a shot. If you get a headshot, then good for you, but otherwise there isn't exactly a lot of headshot skill behind it. It's more just, gosh, I hope I hit this guy in the head. Now, in terms of actually choosing the Magnum as the sidearm for this weapon, I really do like the Magnum. I think it's a really fun gun to play with, but I'm more partial to it because of its style as opposed to how effective it is in specific situations. For example, the fact that I'm running with a bolt action sniper rifle means that I'm going to have a weapon that's extremely good for killing guys at medium and long ranges. What it's not good for is killing guys in close quarters unless you're just an absolute god at aiming. And for close quarters, a Magnum isn't necessarily my weapon of choice. I like a Magnum for taking out some of those medium range shots. So if you're going to give somebody a bolt action sniper rifle, give them an automatic pistol or an M1911 or even one of the just generic pistols out there like a Glock or something. A semi-automatic one would be better for just taking out guys in extreme close quarters, because the Magnum fires much in the same way that the bolt action sniper rifles do. It sort of fills the same role in the world of pistols in that it's great at medium range, dishing out massive damage as a slow firing weapon. But if you miss a few of your shots early on, then you're screwed. So it's nice to have a little bit of diversity between your primary weapon and your sidearm. If you were to say run shotgun primary, then a Magnum would be an excellent sidearm because your primary is awesome at close quarters and the Magnum is pretty darn good at medium range and even long range. Now, in moving up here through this map, I did end up cheating a little, and the Recon class in Metro especially really needs to rely on sort of staying in the shadows, not moving too fast in certain areas, or just having the element of surprise. And I turned off the laser sight every now and then just to make sure that the enemy didn't know where my location is, especially if I knew that I was going to be taking shots at medium ranges where I wasn't going to be hip firing the rifle. Then I just turned it off because it was just giving me away too many times. I would take a shot, or I would even see a guy come around the corner. He would immediately be alerted to my presence via the laser sight and just hit the deck or take a turn, and I would miss my shot, and it was just getting really aggravating. Now here I am hip firing the rifle a little, and I did get a hip fire kill, which was fun and everything, and you can just turn that back on when you need to run through an area or you think, you know what, I might need to take a quick hip fire shot at somebody. I'm going to turn on the laser sight. But when you're in a good situation upstairs or something, then it can be much more useful to turn it off, not alerting every enemy in the world to your location. So all in all, I saw this setup and I said, oh, this could be kind of fun, I guess, but then realizing that the JNG is pretty much one of the worst weapons to hipfire. So I like the idea of potentially hip-firing a sniper rifle. It's fun to do. It's not particularly effective. If you're going to be running with the JNG, I suggest throwing an 8x scope on there and really using it to its advantage, which is long range. So that's it for this video. Don't forget to leave your comments in the comment section letting me know what kind of weapon and accessories you'd like me to run with for the next episode of Loadout. And I'll see you guys next time. This is LevelCap, signing off.